All right. Hi, good afternoon, teachers. Let me just check kung okay na tayo while we're waiting for the others to jump on board sa ating discussion. Okay. So we have people coming in sa discussion. Again, we had the first session this morning, but a few hours ago. We have someone from North Fairview Elementary School. That's almost across lang from where I'm living. So very close. I guess goes without saying na one of the benefits of online education, online teaching is that na we have people from all over, maybe places na malapit, places na sobrang malayo, na we couldn't have been able to reach and teach without yung online tools and online learning option. And that is basically what we're going to talk about today. So while waiting for the others to join, if you have any questions, please write a comment na lang dito sa ating live chat on YouTube. I will look through those and try to answer as many of them at the end of the discussion, including some of the questions that were sent in by the first batch na hindi ko na-address doon sa question na to, doon sa discussion namin kanina. And I'm really happy na I got the chance to do this. So again, thank you so much, Viva Group, for making this possible. Na we have teachers who are finally, di ba, with, alam natin hindi ideal yung situation, pero have some time para ma-equip in this way. So yeah, we'll jump into yung discussion na natin just so we can go through it and then transition over to yung question and answer later. I'll try to leave as much time as possible sa end. That way, kung meron pa kayong ibang mga questions na gusto nyo itanong, kahit yung mga technical stuff, recommendations, kasi ang daming magagandang questions kanina, pag-uusapan natin mamaya. Okay? So, share ko lang yung aking screen. And let's just wait a bit to check if you're going to hear me over the presentation. Again, good afternoon from everyone. We have someone from Batangas, si Teacher Karina Karandang. We have people from all over. And so tama, let's all learn as one here. Okay, now, so the topic for this afternoon is all about making the switch from offline to online. And a lot of the things na I feel hold people back when it comes to teaching online are things na hindi nila alam, ginagawa na nila on a daily basis. So you already have all the tools that you need. And that's one of the pinaka hardest na considerations, I feel. Kaya may mga people who don't make that jump. And since I started doing this, since I started making educational content online, I've been trying my hardest to encourage teachers like you to create content online and teach online and use all of these tools to maximizing learning ng students. And I understand yung apprehension, I guess, first when it comes to equipment, which we'll talk about later. May fear din regarding dun sa skills na it takes for you to put up your content online. And of course, hindi pa kasama dyan yung mga ibang considerations, kagaya ng learning style, kind of yung content creation process, ano yung mga kailangan ko include and all of these things. So maraming mga fears, maraming mga worries, maraming mga challenges in making that transition. And ngayon, we have to be ready, I feel, dun sa lahat ng mga possibilities. And hindi naman ito bago sa inyo. One of the things that I've learned in my entire life is that the best teachers are learners who didn't stop. No, ibig sabihin nun, the best teachers that we know are those who are still fascinated by learning new things. And by you being here and watching this, that means na na-tick nyo na yung qualification na yan off of your list. Kasi you are a teacher who wants to learn. And yun yung number one na standard when we talk about good teachers. Kasi hindi laging enough yung alam na natin. And it's always, attitude thing yun eh. Yung excitement to learn new stuff. So again, welcome dito sa discussion na ito, sa talk na ito. And we will cover everything na kaya kong i-squeeze in sa time, sa limited na preparation, sa aking experience as an educational content creator. So I am Laika Maravilla. I'm actually a registered psychometrician. Hindi ako teacher by profession. One thing na, kaya hindi ako comfortable when people call me teacher kasi sabi ko, I don't deserve the title. I did not enroll sa EDUC as my major. I'm actually a graduate of psychology. Pero I fell in love with educational psychology. So ang thing is, ang difference would be, siguro sa akin, is that I try to maximize learning using psychological concepts, using all of the things that could give students an edge when it comes to memorizing better, studying better, and things like that. So yun yung distinction doon. Now, I didn't choose to be a teacher, pero in a way, teaching chose me. Actually, I ran away from this kasi my entire lahi ay puro teachers. My lola was a master teacher in Aklan. If you know the documentary on one of the oldest teachers in Aklan, they confirmed na lolo ko rin siya. So again, I come from a long line of teachers, yung mga Maravilla. And dami ko mga cousins, aunts, and uncles na nasa profession, nasa teaching profession. But it wasn't necessarily tempting for me kasi ang lagi ko nakikita would be siguro yung sacrifices that you talagang put up with on a daily basis, like teaching in crowded classrooms, being stuck in the heat sa summer, grading papers, writing down yung mga cartolina, making teaching aids, all of these things. And it really parang felt like something na sobrang hirap gawin for me when I was younger. So kahit na meron akong aunt na principal who actually almost threatened us na, oy, mag-edu ka. Kung gusto mo mag-psychology, sabi niya sa akin, mag-sped ka, pero mag-teaching ka. Sabi ko, ayoko. Kasi nakita ko yung sacrifice. But as things went along in my life, na-reveal yung purpose, which is this. Okay? Even if I did not choose teaching, it actually fell onto my lap. And now, kahit papaano, even if, I hope, kahit na hindi ako teacher like you guys, you can glean some of the concepts I learned throughout my experience as an online educational content creator. So when people ask me, ang trabaho mo, what do you do for a living? I actually tell them that I am an educator. Now, just a quick little activity for those of you especially who weren't in the first session this afternoon. These are just numbers, but we will go back to those later. So just think of ano kaya ibig sabihin itong mga numbers na ito and how it relates to yung discussion natin. Okay? So we have 2.8 million, 116,667, and 320. All of these numbers are related, and all of these numbers also mean something. We'll talk about that at the end of the discussion. Okay? Now, who am I? Again, I am a YouTube educator. I like the term educator more than influencer. I never really liked the term influencer. When people say, oh, anong trabaho mo? Kung sasabihin nila sa akin na influencer ako, I disagree. Kasi I guess iba na yung notion when it comes to online influencers. People think that these are people who make content for money and stuff like that. I actually have no sponsorships or anything like that. My focus is on the content. So, ang official name or tawag sa amin is YouTube Educator. Basically, we create educational content online. And hindi lang naman sa YouTube, maraming mga online platforms, marami ring mga tools that you can use to help people learn. And actually, my grand vision is to democratize education in the Philippines. Basically, to make educational materials accessible to all who want it and need it. I guess ang root cause niyan is knowing discrepancy between people and how it actually relates to yung availability ng resources and availability ng teachers na magaling and who care enough to actually invest yung time and effort nila dun sa pagtuturo ng mga estudyante nila. And my goal, okay, my personal goal, I know it's parang masyadong malaki to actually verbalize, pero my goal is to create an entire library of content that students can learn from, okay, as alternatives. Now, I'm not saying that online teaching or online content is enough to actually replace yung traditional form of education. Nothing beats yung personal na contact. Nothing beats yung emotional approach ng face-to-face na teaching. Okay? Iba. And even if you ask me, kunyari, na if you ever have kids, would you consider na online na lang sila mag-aral versus nasa classroom? I would say na mas maganda pa rin yung nasa classroom, mainly because maraming mga experiences and learnings ang nangyayari lang doon sa ganong klaseng environment. So, again, hindi naman to usapan ng which one is better, pero when we talk about which one is necessary, pareho naman silang kailangan. So, ang goal is for those to work together and hopefully meld seamlessly para ma-maximize natin. Okay? Now, my experience has been fun throughout this entire thing. In 2017, I was actually chosen as one of the finalists for YouTube Next Up. I was part of the first batch of content creators. 12 kami na pinili. And out of the 12, ako lang ang educational content creator. The closest one to me would be si Manolo kasi he teaches guitar. And siguro si Kuya Nino kasi he teaches basketball. Pero yung educational content, as in education for education's sake, it was only me. Most of them were makeup vloggers or lifestyle vloggers. We had 2 singers. So usually when you talk about YouTube and online education, online content, ang thinking pa rin ng Filipino is very talents-based, no? Parang sa mga talent competition din sa Philippines, it's always singing or dancing, one of the two. Hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng attention yung educational content. Pero ang masaya doon is actually recently, nagkakaroon na ng change sa trend when it comes to educational content sa Philippines. And even YouTube has paid extra attention to this. I guess one of the reasons is because, again, I was part of the first batch ng YouTube Next Up. Ang ginagawa kasi doon is they put us up sa isang hotel. 1 week siya ng workshops. They also help us with equipment. And then they saw kahit paano yung growth ng channel. In 2017, we ended the year with about 11,000 subscribers. By the end of 2018, we had about 100 and something thousand. Last year, we ended the year with 400,000 subscribers. And right now, we're up to, I think, 526,000 or 525,000. So may growth. Ibig sabihin, Filipinos are now discovering that online learning is a viable option, a tool na pwede talaga nilang gamitin. And just a quick little side note, no, sa international realm, actually, ang how-to videos and educational content, yan ay pangalawa sa mga pinaka-searchable na content online. So a lot of people are already going to yung online options to learn new things. So yun doon na tayo papasok, nandun na yung availability. No? Now, 2018, I was called back as a mentor. I was glad kasi in 2018, medyo mas diverse na yung content nila. Mas marami ng creators. In 2019, actually, dun sa batch last year, I was also back to participate in a bunch of the workshops. They even had a dedicated educational content panel para sa mga educators, para sa mga networks who may want to consider putting up educational content online. So as I was in the panel with the head of YouTube Learning and other creators na international pagdating sa educational content. So kumbaga makikita natin yung sa trend na pahinog na yung Pilipinas when it comes to online learning. And you are actually here dito sa pinaka-cusp nito. Hopefully after this, with 4.6K of you and the people who were here earlier, sana mas dumami pa yung educational content creators online. Okay? Yun yung goal natin today. I was sent to EduCon India in 2018, by the way. These are some of the perks. And when I went there, I went into a ballroom. I was surprised kasi I was the only Filipino na delegate. And pagpasok ko sa ballroom, there were 300 Indian content creators with educational channels doon sa event na yon, sa EduCon, sa Gurugram. And nagulat ako kasi 300. And those are the ones na nakapunta lang doon sa event, by the way. And alam natin na mas malaking bansa ang India kaysa sa Philippines, pero it actually lit a fire inside me. Parang naisip ko, parang sana ganito rin sa Philippines. Sana ganon din. Kasi out of those 300 channels, some of them share the same topics, pero they actually teach in different languages. Kasi if you know, we probably know this, sa India din marami silang languages. So, bawat language, kahit papano, they already have a representation pagdating sa content. And hindi pa parang ang ganda rin isipin na sa Philippines may possibility na maging ganon. Kasi we have a lot of languages, very diverse ang Philippines. And if we have content na mas maiintindihan ng mga estudyante because it's in their heart language, hindi ba mas maganda yun? And the only way for us to do that is to have more creators on board and more online content na educational. So yun yung dream. Yeah, so I was in the panel then. Yeah, it was an entire thing. I was able to share yung Filipino concept of diskarte because a lot of the tools na I talked about in the panel discussion din are tools na nag-exist sa platform pero hindi na ma-maximize nung ibang mga creators that I was in the panel with. So some of them were surprised na pwede pa lang yun gamitin in that way. And that speaks a lot dun sa Filipino diskarte nga na very unique sa atin, no? Kasi sa atin, whatever we are given, we make do with what we have. Mina-maximize natin yan kasi we have limited resources. And so we get creative with it. And yun yung goal dito. Okay? Now, I was also a speaker and panelist sa YouTube FanFest Moms Edition last year. This year, I think they're putting it off kasi nga with the COVID crisis. Pero it was such a privilege to be on stage with these ladies. You probably know some of them, or if not, if hindi lahat. We have Bianca Gonzalez here. This is Judy Travis. And this is Andy Manzano. So most of them are mommy bloggers. I was the only teacher and I was the only one without a kid sa panel namin. Pero that opportunity wouldn't have happened kung hindi rin sa educational content. So again, na-validate na to na merong need and may market and may benefits when it comes to teaching online. Kasi kailangan talaga siya. Okay? And they even put me up sa poste sa MUA. So this is one of the funny moments in my life. I can never dream that it'll happen, pero nakakatawa lang. Buti na lang medyo okay yung picture na we sent over kasi ilalagay pa nila sa poste, hindi nila sinabi sa akin. So anyway, this year, this is fairly new. I was actually chosen to be one of the YouTube Creators for Change ambassadors. They choose a few every year. And this is a project by UNDP, the European Union, and YouTube. Basically, they select creators who will make positive content online. And now we have kahit paano a representation when it comes to the educational side. So that's something that's kept me busy in the beginning of the year. Before the COVID crisis blew up, we were actually sent to Bangkok for a week-long seminar and training with a bunch of other creators from Asia Pacific, and yeah, it was great. I learned a lot from them then, best practices and stuff like that, some of which of course I will share din sa inyo. So the goal here is to optimize whatever skills we have, the tools we have, to make it better for the kids to learn. Yun naman yung laging goal. Now yung content creation process, it's an entire thing. Now one of the things I feel kaya merong negative connotation ang online content or content creation in the Philippines is that people ask the wrong questions. They usually start with the how question. So how can I get more views? How can I get famous? How can I earn money? And sadly, yun na yung medyo trend, okay, these days. People are asking all the wrong questions. They ask, how can I make videos na papatok? Paano ko kikita ng pera? And that's the wrong question to ask when it comes to content creation kasi it will lead to a lot of different things. Kasi when you talk about how to earn, The next question would be, what would I do or what should I do to get more views? And slippery slope yan. Eventually, it will lead you to another question, which is why? Which is, bakit ako nag-trending for a negative thing? Why do I have so many bashers? Why are things happening to me? No? So may psychological spiral din in a way if you take the content creation process and use it ng mali. Now, ang suggestion ko would be this: when it comes to creating positive content online, educational content online, online teaching, the process has to be flipped. You always have to ask why first. So even before you ask kung paano ko gagawa ng video, paano ako papatok, how can I get more viewers, all of these things, ang unang tanong always has to be why. And we will talk about that in a bit. After why, you ask what? What kind of content should I make? Okay, what topics should I cover? And then only then should you ask yung question na how, which is, how can I make those videos? How can I tell more people about it? How can I build up my audience? How can I actually maximize this for my students? So again, the question always has to start with why. Kasi kapag alam mo yung reason behind it, it will actually fuel the rest. The rest will come naturally na lang. Magka-come siya, mag-fit siya dun sa place. So for example, ako, ang personal why ko, so why am I making content? My dream is to democratize education in the Philippines. So yun yung grand dream. And now, everything, every what na question after that is based na dun sa why ko na yun. So again, teachers, the question would be, why are you going to transition from offline to online? Or actually, yung word of transition is such a strong word. What you could say would be, how can you append offline learning with online learning? Kasi those have to work together. Now, motivation muna tayo. So why should you make the switch from offline to online? Ang first and pinaka-compelling na reason why you should start is this. No? This was actually just posted yesterday. Sabi ni Deputy Secretary Briones, sabi niya, education must continue, whether face-to-face or virtual, with or without physically going to school. So basically, dahil hindi natin alam kung kailan mag-e-end yung COVID crisis, we have to be prepared sa possibility na ang online learning can be a viable alternative dahil imposible na magkaroon ng face-to-face na classes. And what that means is maybe educators like yourself will have to be pushed out of the nest when it comes to creating content online. Kasi in the 5 years since I started making videos, every teacher that I've met, and they can attest to this, I would tell them, I practically beg them na, ay ako teacher, kung meron na man po kayong lessons or meron na po kayong presentations, baka you may want to consider filming it and putting it up on YouTube. Lalo na sa mga topics na I don't cover, like science, physics, chemistry. All of these things na, or AP, di ba? Araling panlipunan. When I meet teachers na yun ang tinuturo, I tell them, baka pwede po kayong mag-video, kahit screen capture nyo lang sa phone niyo. Or kung gusto nyo po, ako na pong mag-edit lahat. Magsisit in ako sa klase ninyo, tapos gawin natin yung channel ninyo. So I beg people to make content online, mainly because hindi ko kayang gawin by myself. And a lot of people would tell me na, oo nga, coach, iniisip ko nga gumawa ng channel eh. I have friends who are teachers who would say na, oo nga, iniisip ko, kaya lang wala kasi akong time. Kaya lang yung problem na yun, we are way past that now. Kasi now, we may have to do it. So ito na yung, kumbaga, I know it's not the ideal situation, pero sa akin, it's like all of you teachers who already know how to fly, kasi you've been doing this for longer than I have, and ito naman talagang profession ninyo, mas magagaling kayo magturo sa akin, but you are already equipped, pero hindi pa kayo nakakatalon sa nest ninyo. Kumbaga sa ibon, di ba? Hindi pa kayo nakakalipad. And itong situation na to is basically, if you believe in God pushing you out of the nest para lumipad na kayo kasi it's time for you to fly. And hopefully, this session right here, again, thank you to Vibal Group for making this happen, can help you, spread your wings and create online content. Okay? So, my need. We all know that, my need. The question na next would be, ano pa yung more than that? Okay? Kasi if you are buying into the why, it'll be easier for you to make the adjustments to make it happen. Now, some stats lang to think of. Filipinos spend an average of 10 hours and 2 minutes on the internet daily. Okay, so we have to dispel the myth na Filipinos are not online. Actually, we have a very high rate when it comes to using the internet. Okay, now I'm not saying na everyone has access to the internet. Okay, we will talk about options pagdating dyan at the end of the video, at the end of the discussion. Pero ito na yung current situation. So, mataas masyadong internet usage natin. 4 hours and 12 minutes are spent on social media. And that is actually the reason why when I wasn't doing online content on YouTube or making educational content, me as a private person, I barely posted anything. Okay? So, my Facebook account ko since forever, pero hindi ako mahilig magpo-post masyado. Hindi ako public na tao. But when I started teaching, I realized na I need to use these tools. I need to be on these platforms kasi nandoon yung mga estudyante ko. 3 hours and 33 minutes are spent watching videos. Ang question na ngayon would be, anong klaseng videos ito? Are these just prank videos, music videos, dance videos? Anong klaseng mga videos ang pinapanood? So ang goal natin as educators would be to actually create content na pwedeng maging alternative for the people who are already online. So it's really not up to us to get them online, pero once they're online, hopefully, we can provide a viable option, another alternative na pwede nilang panoorin or pwede nilang i-consume na content. So yun yung pinaka-goal. And I wrote this just yesterday. It is the teacher's primary task to meet students where they are. And since our students are online, then we have to be online as well. Okay? So, alam naman na natin yan. A lot of people are already using online tools. Now, the question would be in honing yung technique when doing it. Now, why did I actually create content online? Now, a thing for you to also think about would be this. Most of you already teach in a classroom setting, right? Now, I used to teach in a classroom setting. I used to teach in a small college. I used to teach Pol Sci. This was a picture of my class. And ng term nila, 12 students yan, absent yung isa. And ibig sabihin nun, sa isang buong SEM, I had to travel from Fairview to Ortigas, teach them for an hour and a half, once a week, go back for half a year, have their activities, grade their papers, everything like that. And then at the end of the term, ang naturuan ko lang ay 12 students. Again, absent pa isa. But if you look at yung numbers, okay, right now I have 525,000, actually 526,000 just a few hours ago, 526,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if you divide that by the usual class size, sabihin na natin of 30, ilang klase na yan. Okay, so now you have tens of thousands of classes all over the world na virtual. And I say world kasi it's true. Kasi the reach goes beyond yung ating shores, even in countries na hindi ko alam na merong nanonood. I used to have viewers from Barbados. Tapos sabi ko, bakit may from Barbados? May Filipinos ba doon? But apparently, yes. So we have Filipino learners who are trying to learn English na nanonood from there. So I see them sa stats ko sa YouTube, tapos nagugulat ako. Tapos ay, meron din pala doon. So again, yung classroom mo ngayon, imagine it, if you have 30 students in your classroom, basically what happens is you break down the walls and then now you can teach the world. Yun yung idea ng online teaching. So would I trade yung sabihin na natin ilang hours na I travel from Fairview to Ortigas, I make yung lessons nila, I actually teach those lessons, and then only for 12 students versus yung 525,000. Yun yung pinaka-trade-off. And that is actually also the reason why I decided to go full-time sa online education. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I'm saying that was how it worked for me. And the potential for you to actually put up your own online content is also the same. Na instead of maybe teaching just the few that you have in your classroom, this will also provide an alternative for those na malayo. Lalo na yung literal na malayo. I've had students who would say na, Coach, IP po kami, so they live on top of a mountain. Ang teacher po sa amin twice a week lang pumupunta. Pag bumabagyo, hindi siya nakakaakyat kasi delikado. So what they do is they watch the videos there. Sometimes what we do is we basically bring a smart TV there, a library of the videos that we have. We give them sa kanila para pwede rin offline. And those are just some of the alternatives that you can do kung walang internet access dun sa taas ng bundok. Okay? And these are solutions that have been going on naman for years. Okay? Alam natin yan na maraming educational shows, marami educational content. Even Vibal has their own library of other alternative learning content na sa labas or pandagdag, pang-append ng learning within the classroom. So yun yung goal natin. Now, limitations tayo, let's just cover this, yung problem points and how we can make up for them. This is actually something na siguro kung ang pinag-usapan dito is I'm selling you the idea, I wouldn't cover this. Pero I want you to face these limitations ng harapan. Kasi we have to acknowledge na hindi lahat ng ideal na situations ay mangyayari sa lahat ng sitwasyon. Maraming mga limitations din ng online learning. So the first limitation is this, okay, yung ating connectivity issues. And ang sad lang ng reality na hindi naman kasi talaga lahat ng estudyante may device, hindi lahat ng estudyante may internet connection. In fact, hindi lahat ng teacher merong internet connection at merong device. And aside from that, yung mismong limitations ng bansa natin when it comes to internet connectivity is still there. For example, again, this is an article from 2019. Sabi, the internet speed daw sa atin is way below the global average. In fact, one quick little anecdote from that article, ang sabi nila is that yung ating internet speed is even slower than Syria. Now, if you're familiar with Syria, di ba may gera doon, may bombings, everything, pero mas mabilis pa rin ang internet nila. So, di ba nakakalungkot na medyo odd na ganun yung sitwasyon natin, na ganito kabagal ang internet dito. In fact, if you travel outside of the country, ako when we were in Korea, sobrang fascinated ako sa fact na ang upload speed doon ay napakabilis sa free internet. When we were in Bali last year, nakakapag-upload ako ng YouTube videos using my phone. Ganon kabilis ang internet, mobile internet pa yon at walang limit. Dito hindi eh. Now, we can always stop dito. Now, we can say na, oh yan, mabagal ang internet, hindi lahat may internet, so we should stop. Pero I guess, dito again papasok yung discarding Pinoy. Dahil madiskarte tayo as Filipinos, we know na these problems exist. Pero ang question would be, will we let this stop us from making online content, from teaching online? Magiging limitation ba siya for good or should we just work around it? And yun yung kailangan natin gawin. Now, just a bit of encouragement. I tell this to my students all the time then. Don't let your anxieties about things beyond your control keep you from working on problems you can actually solve. Sometimes kasi, kapag may nakita tayong problem na masyadong malaki para sa atin, hindi natin kayang solusyonan, humihinto na tayo doon. Pero actually, dapat hindi. Kasi kung hindi natin kayang gawa ng paraan, yung internet speed ng buong bansa, what we could do would be to append that, to do what we can. Ang nangyayari lang sometimes, pag malaki yung problema, napaparalyze tayo ng fear, ng anxiety na yun, and then that keeps us from actually doing something productive. So, i-acknowledge natin, totoo may problema ang connectivity, pero now, what can we do about that? Okay? Now, next problem would be connection. Kasi hindi naman kapalit ang synthetic na connection, ang online na connection sa actual na interactions. Okay, ibang-iba pa rin ang harapan na tutoring or na teaching. And alam natin yan kasi it's been effective for thousands of years, no? Laging gano'n, yun ang roots ng education. When we talk about applied education, lalo na, kailangan merong teacher na nakatingin. So, may mga limitations din when it comes to creating yung valuable na connection. But these are also things that we can work on. Now, ang common na mga problem points that people send over to me are these. Number one, question, will the students pay attention? Kapag ako ba ay nag-post ng video or nag-discuss through a video call, nanonood ba sila? Okay? Now, if you flip lang natin yung question na yon and ibabalik ko dun sa setting ng classic or traditional na classroom. Again, not to put it down ha, pero for example, kayo pong mga teachers and you know more, right? And you have more experience sa akin. When you enter a room with 50 students, how do you know that the students are actually paying attention? Right? Kasi even ngayon, even in the traditional setting, and I know this because I used to teach and volunteer teach in a big school sa Flora Ilagan, kadalasan, the students are not paying attention. Lalo na yung sinasabi natin, di ba, yung running joke na row 4, no? Kapag nasa bandang dulo na ng classroom, these are the students who will actually just, alam mo yun, pass the time pagdating sa school. Ang nagpa-participate lang usually are the ones na nasa first 2 rows. So they already are not paying attention. But the thing is, we need to encourage them to pay attention. Now, again, keeping in mind that these are kids who are used to videos and YouTube and music as background noise sa buhay nila. Sanay sila na nasa background, nasa periphery lang nila yan. When they watch TV, they're working on something else, they're playing a game, minumultitask nila to. So it's up to us to actually grab their attention and convince them that they need to pay attention. Now, kailan to nangyayari? Again, the question would be why? Motivation. Do we actually talk to students and explain kung bakit nila kailangan itong concept na to? Or do we just go about dun sa listahan ng mga things that we need to teach? Kasi yun talaga yung first step eh. You have to explain na kailangan nila to. Yun lang. Kasi kung kailangan nila, makikinig sila. Okay? Now next, will the students participate? That's another question, no? Kasi baka nanonood lang sila, baka mamaya hindi naman sila nag-comment, hindi sila nanonood, hindi sila nagsosolve along. But again, it's the same problem in the traditional classroom setting. Kasi kahit naman pag nag-field or nagbabato tayo ng questions sa ating klase, hindi naman lahat nakakasagot, tama? If for example, you have a check-up question sa iyong discussion, in the middle of the discussion, you ask your questions para i-check kung nagpipay sila ng attention. Di ba kadalasan pag nagtatanong tayo ng question, unless naka-randomize yung ating class cards para itanong yung mga questions natin sa kanila, it's usually the same few, maybe 5 students who answer the same question. Yung iba hindi rin naman talaga nagpa-participate. Now, you could argue na actually, sometimes yung mga online tools will actually help force them to participate. Bakit? Kasi ano ba ang barrier sa participation ng students sa classroom setting? Number 1, kasi hindi naman talaga nagpe-pay attention, which we already know. Number 2, that would be kasi nahihiya sila magkamali. And there are tools online that can actually help you keep them from feeling that fear. Kung kunyari, ang kanilang mga work ay alam nila na ikaw lang makakakita. So mawawala yung fear ng recitation na baka pag nagkamali ako, pagtawanan ako ng buong klase. So yun pa lang, again, you are already opening yung opportunity to learn for a different group of people. Itong mga bata na sobrang mahiyain, kaya hindi nagpa-participate. Hindi naman dahil hindi nila alam, pero dahil nahihiya lang silang magkamali. So again, you can say na this can actually help in some cases. Another question or problem would be, what if the students cheat? Now, the question would be this. Di ba nag-cheat din naman ng mga students ngayon? So, if the students are cheating offline, of course, you can expect that some of them will try to cheat online din. Ang key lang here would be for us to stay on top of things. So it takes a lot of effort for educators, for teachers to actually look for tools na makakapanghuli sa mga students na ito. I actually have a suggestion on that. Please remind me if I forget. Pero yung randomization ng problem sets is also a good step to deter this. And you can actually automate that. Sige, explain ko na ngayon before I forget. So for example, if you're teaching, say, multiplying ng fractions, kunyari lang, if you have a test bank of 200 questions, if you're doing it online, you can actually use tools to randomize those questions para bawat student ay iba yung kanyang set ng questions. It can seem a little bit tedious, pero di ba if you think about it, if you actually give a test sa iyong classroom, hindi na, nag-cheat pa rin naman sila pag live eh. Pero kung online, may mga deterrent tayong pwedeng gawin. Again, using the technology. So that's just one of the suggestions that I have. Now, another question will be this, will it actually work? Now, marami pang room for research when it comes to this. Very new ang Philippines when it comes to online teaching. No? Hindi pa to masyadong napag-aaralan. And if ever I get the chance to go back to school, that my thesis, my study, my dissertation will actually be probably about this. But one thing I can speak about sa aking experience, again, I started making videos in 2013-14 na educational. And throughout my entire journey, I've had people na naging successful sa mga learning objectives nila. So one of the things that I focus on is yung aptitude exams, like civil service exam, licensure exam for teachers, UPCAT, PhilSat, LAE, yung mga exams na ganyan. Just a few weeks ago, I had a student send me a message saying na nung nag-start daw siya na manood, he was worried about kung saan siya mag-aaral. And now, ang problema niya is nakapasa siya sa lahat. So, nakapasa siya sa MAAP, sa PNPA, sa PMA na exam, sa AFSAT. So, lahat ng yung mga qualification na exam, nakapasa siya doon sa mga exams na yon. And now, ang problem niya ngayon is choosing kung saan siya papasok. So, again, there are success stories like this. Now, sa adult learning, I've even had students as old as 62 years old pass the civil service exam. They've taken the exam since they were young, so mga since 20-ish sila nag-exam na sila, and then now they passed. So again, if it worked for people who are way older, then it can, I guess, again, opinion ko, no? I guess it can also work for younger people. No? Kasi kung sabi nga natin, di ba, you can teach an old dog new tricks, pero natuto yung matatanda. So pwede ding matuto yung mga bata. It's all about effort. And yes, at the end of the day, it's that, no? When we talk about the teachers who changed our lives, the teachers who influenced us, even our parents, our friends, it's rarely about talent. Diba? If you close your eyes right now and think of the teachers who changed your life, the teachers who motivated you to be a teacher yourself, itong mga teacher na nagturo sa'yo ng fundamentals, who paid extra attention to you after class, saan ba sila nakakalamang sa ibang mga teachers who may not have impacted you the same way? Di ba kadalasan na lumalamang sila sa effort? Right? Sa effort. So, ganun din tayo. Saan natin babawian natin sa effort. All of these problem points we already deal with on a daily basis sa offline setting. Ita-translate lang natin sa online learning. Okay? So again, it's all about innovation. It's all about diskarte. And as Filipinos, we all have that. Gamitin lang natin wisely. Now, another problem would be yung collaboration. Ng collaboration, kaya ang hirap kasi niya i-gauge, okay? Pagdating sa online. Kasi ang thinking natin sometimes is, okay, pag nagpa-project ako, paano sila mag-work together? But we have to understand that these are kids who already know more than you, probably, when it comes to online tools. So when we talk about project management, for example, if ang class ninyo is sa events, these are kids who can optimize apps, like boards, like task lists, na they can work together and collaborate and even execute the project online. So, kunyari, dahil walang live na classes, they can even hold a concert online, di ba? Using the tools that they already are good at. Kasi kung kaya nga nilang mag-spend ng hours upon hours making one TikTok video or making one viral video, di ba? A parody of some sort, then they can also work together for that. Kailangan lang ng creativity on your part and a keen eye. Now, let me show you something that we are working on dito sa team. Actually, this happened nung kakastart pa lang ng ECQ. I basically asked my friends if any of them are willing to volunteer their time para mag-proofread ng essays and writing ng mga learners. So varied yan. Mayroong mga bata, mayroong mga adult learners na gustong matuto mag-English. So this came up. I got about 50 volunteers. Now we have this, yung Learn from Home writing class. Ang ginagawa ko lang dyan is I put up a topic. So for example, ito yung writing assignment week 1, writing assignment week 2, and then the learners actually type up their essay, put it up, and then nire-review siya ng ating mga volunteers. So ang idea here is pag merong check, ibig sabihin moderator, these are my friends who are volunteers. Some of them are teachers rin, and nagko-comment sila dun sa work ng student. Pwede ring peer review. So for example, yung student, may nakita siyang essay, pwede siyang mag-comment doon to help yung kanyang fellow student. All of these nakatrack. And if you notice, meron din mga tools din, katulad ito nakalagay, seen by 60 people. You can even see kung sino na yung nakakita ng post na yun. So again, gagamitin lang natin itong mga tools na ito to maximize yung learning. So yes, pwede pa rin mag-collaborate kahit online. If we're talking about building a website, creating a project, coding, if we're talking about even putting up a series of informational materials, all of these, they can work together naman kahit online. And again, reality check lang tayo. When we talk about yung traditional classroom setting, how can we be sure din na yung mga projects that they submit to us ay bunga ng collaborative work? Kasi I think you would agree with me, all of us were students once, no? And you would know na kapag buong class yung may project, like it's a big event, it's usually 5 people na nagtatrabaho rin to make sure na mangyayari yung event, and the rest are slackers. Tapos hindi nga natin nalalaman as teachers kung sino yung nagtatrabaho o hindi, unless sobrang obvious. And hindi natin pwedeng i-mark down yung hindi nag-contribute unless sinabi siya or nilaglag siya ng mga teammates niya. But if you're doing it online, with actual na tools, online tools, you would even see kung sinong gumawa ng certain comments, certain revision sa isang work. Sino ang nag-claim nitong task na to. So when you ask them kung ano ang ambag mo sa project na ito, you actually have an online record of ano talaga yung kinontribute nila. So again, you can always use ito for that. Now, execution na tayo, how can you teach online? We're going to talk about 4 things. Ito yung I call this prep work kasi a lot of what happens talaga happens behind the scenes. People just think na parang, okay, ang teaching is just, uupo ka lang, tapos nagsasalita ka na. But a lot happens behind the scenes. And it all boils down to a good amount of prep work. Kung maganda yung prep work mo, mas maganda yung flow. A lot of these, I tweaked ito since I first started teaching. So you can feel free to make revisions or anything. Consider these as suggestions. Mga things lang na I learned dun sa past 5 years ng pagiging content creator ko online. So ito, let's start with the content side. Ito ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. A lot of people fixate on the equipment and the platform. Dapat maganda yung graphics ko, maganda dapat yung production value. Pero actually, content is king. Even if you attend yung mga malalaking creator conferences, even YouTube themselves, sasabihin nila sa inyo, content is king. It doesn't matter kung ano yung equipment ang ginagamit ninyo. A lot of the features, a lot of videos na nagwa-viral, if you notice, hindi naman pagandahan ng production eh. Yung mga malalaking YouTubers, you probably could name a few, lalo na yung mga foreign. If you look at their older videos, yung mga first videos nila, they are usually shot using a webcam, using a phone. So hindi necessarily masyado to. Content ang kailangan. Kasi kung ang content mo ay maganda, babalikan at babalikan siya ng iyong viewers. So yun yung goal natin. Ano ba muna yung gusto mong ituro? Okay? Now, let me show you lang yung workflow, yung kung paano nag-evolve yung content ko on my channel. So this is kind of how it looks like. It looked like actually 476 subscribers pa lang dito. Pero ngayon, ano na siya, 526. I put it up here then, new videos every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Philippine time. Yun yung aking weekly schedule. Mondays, I have my Math Mondays video, so math yun. And then Wednesdays, Wordy Wednesdays, it's either an English grammar lesson or a Filipino grammar lesson. Ito yung regular schedule ko. Pero when I started making videos, actually, wala akong schedule. So I just put it up anywhere or anytime na kaya ko. Minsan 12 videos in a day. Pero I've learned to optimize that already. So share ko rin sa inyo. Ang common na mistake is that na-overload yung ibang estudyante kasi ibabagsak natin yung 20 videos, 10 videos in a day. When in fact, mas maganda if pautay-utay siya. Okay? Now, I started making videos, mainly civil service exam review. Kasi the reason why I even started putting up a channel was in 2013, my mom had us take the civil service exam. And yun, blessing yun, galing kay God, I got the top score. So top 1 ako sa civil service exam, top 4 yung twin sister ko. And when it happened, I was asking God, sabi ko, bakit ako nag-top, hindi naman ako magtatrabaho sa government. Kasi I was happy with my private job then. Sabi ko, okay na ako sa corporate. And then this was the answer. So maybe I can help more people using this. So I started teaching adult learners, mga friends ng mom ko sa bahay. And then I had a friend na gusto niya naman mag-doktor. So yung NMAT, meron siyang math problem na pinadala sa akin. Sabi niya, I remember when we were in high school, meron kang shortcut dito kasi I like doing that even when I was a kid, mahilig ako mag-shortcut. Yung paano mag-solve ng problems na walang formula, yung mga ganun, drawing. So I sent her the solution. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, hindi ko naintindihan. Pwede paki-video. So video ko, tapos pinutop ko sa YouTube, hindi dito sa channel na to, in my older personal channel. Tapos hindi ko napansin naka-public pala siya. And then, after that, after some time, people started looking for me online. Sa Facebook ko may nag-message, I'm from Batanes, baka may iba pa kapang videos. And then, that was how this was born. Actually, yung Team Laika, hindi ako nagpangalan yan. Sila nagpangalan sa sarili nila. I actually didn't like the name. Pero wala na akong magagawa kasi yung Facebook page namin, nilagay na nila na yan yung pangalan. And then, they left, ako lang yung moderator, wala na akong magawa. So I was stuck with the name, basically. So I started with civil service exam review questions, but it didn't stop there. Kasi, and there's something to be said about the evolution of content here. So how do we follow the flow, the transition when it comes to the kind of content we put up. Anong klase yung gusto nilang matutunan. Now, when I started making the civil service exam review videos, target market niya adult learners. So most of my viewers are 30 and above. Anong nangyari, as time went on, since most of the questions covered in aptitude exams, like word problems, fractions, subject-verb agreement, and stuff like that, are the same sa mga mas mga batang estudyante, naging viewing party sa bahay. So pag nag-aaral yung nanay, nanonood na rin yung anak, tutor niya pa yung anak niya minsan. And so nagkaroon ako ng bagong mga viewers who are younger. And after that, they started asking for study hacks videos. And dito na pumapasok yung what to eat, how to memorize, all of the tips that I give out. Nagkaroon ng bagong series ng study hacks. So nag-evolve yung content. So aside from my hero piece, which is yung actual na lessons, I added this just to make use then of my psych background para magamit ko naman yung thesis ko. And then we have, after that, yung evolution na sa Get Hired. Kasi ang nangyari was, pumasa na sila sa mga exams nila, nakagraduate na yung mga kailangan graduate, and now naghahanap na sila ng trabaho. So when we started asking for that, I started this series, yung Get Hired. Everything from writing their resume, answering job interview questions, all of those, we covered in that series. And yun, tumatakbo pa rin ito. After some time, they asked for this, Sunday motivation videos. Kasi sabi nila, Coach, I want some type of positivity in my life. Nakapasa na ako ng exam, so basically they don't need this type of content anymore. Pero they wanted this. Now, one trend na nakita ko is that after they fell in love with learning, kasi naging regular part ng life nila, you would see in the comment section that they would say na parang namimiss ko na po pag hindi ako natututo. So even if hindi sila mag-e-exam, nag-aaral na sila. Again, yun naman yung goal eh, na they would actually choose to learn. So nandun na tayo sa part na yun. And I guess that is something that you will also encounter. And I'm excited for you guys. Kasi as teachers, I feel one of the things na challenging sa atin harapin is the fact na some students just show up because they have to. Pero if you can get to the point na dumarating sila because they're actually having fun and they're actually looking for it, and sometimes people write comments na hinahanap na po ng katawan ko yung every Monday dapat nagmamas ako. So nasanay na sila. Then they become lifelong learners. Kasi ang nawawala doon is yung anxiety. Like a lot of people don't really hate math, they just are afraid of the possibility na pag sumagot sila ng mali, pagtatawanan sila ng classmates nila. And through online learning, it is something that we can actually eliminate. So that's something lang to think about. Now, another thing would be this, okay? It's actually fairly new. I started this after the ECQ kasi lumaganap bigla yung fake news at saka yung phishing. I get a lot of updates from BPI, BTO, and other banks na marami daw phishing. So I started this new series, yung Internet Safety. So again, ganun lang yung evolution ng content, needs-based tayo. Ano ba yung need nung student natin? And then we fulfill that need. Ito yung isa sa mga pwede nyong i-follow na design. Ang challenge kasi, and I guess you already face this on a daily basis, is when you have learning objectives and a book that you follow chapter by chapter, some people find it hard to deviate from that original material. Pero one thing I've learned, lalo na when it comes to online learning, is you have to be on your toes. You have to be ready to innovate, to change, to tweak, to add certain things. Kasi hindi lahat ng learners ay nasa same level. So yun yung isa sa mga challenges. So again, you have to change out of need. Now, another way of doing it would be this. I will share to you yung aking thought process when I make my content. I currently have about, I guess, 700 videos online. Most of them are on math and language. The other videos are on other topics din. Most of them educational din talaga, if not motivational. And ito yung aking parang thought process when I dream up of yung aking mga gagawin. So ang first na question that you will be faced with would be yung ano yung kailangan yung ituro. So what do I need to teach? So again, learning objective. Ito yung kailangan matutunan nila by the end of the year. So yun yung first question. Ano yung kailangan? So for example, if your students need to learn algebra, okay, ang danger sometimes, and even in the traditional setting you would know this, is teachers only focus on this. Like if they are there to teach algebra, they'll go there to teach algebra. But the beauty of online learning is it's really not enough. Why? Kasi ang rule of thumb ko is when it comes to lessons, ang range ng attention and ng participation ng viewers are usually from 10 minutes to 20 minutes lang yan. Okay? Anything more than that, like this, itong format na to, it can only work kasi kayo yung nanonood. You already are learners. You already are teachers. So motivated na kayo to start with, maybe with yung certificate, maybe with yung possible na learning. So hindi na masyadong magiging problema yon kasi may background na kayo. Pero for someone who is new, pwede silang mawalan ng interest very quickly. So what do I need to teach? Now, after that, you need to backtrack. Kasi hindi enough yun. Kasi there will be kids who will fall short. Kasi mag-fall behind sila dahil wala sila ng fundamentals. So when I design yung aking video series or lesson series, the next question would be this: do they still remember their fundamentals? Kasi kung ito yung gusto kong ituro, pero hindi maganda yung fundamentals nila, maiiwan at maiiwan sila. So I will need to now make content based on this. Kung wala pang existing content. Pero ang maganda sa online teaching is, if I made this, kunyari, I made yung PEMDAS lesson or yung fundamentals na series before for, say, a younger group of students, I can always point them to the same content. Okay, so I don't need to make them stay for an extra hour every day para lang ituro ko sa kanila. I can just refer them to yung existing lessons na. So yun yung transition. So again, from needs, dun sa responding to dun sa needs ng mga students, to something like this, you can think of it that way. Ganito ipa-plan out yung lesson. Kasi ang idea would be to break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. Now, how did I come up with the number na 10 to 20 minutes? So the reason din talaga for that is kasi, again, when I started out, I was teaching people na mag-e-exam ng civil service exam. Usually, they study sa work kasi wala silang internet access sa bahay. So, pag nasa work, sa break time yan. Now, anything longer than an hour, hindi na talaga pwede. Number one, kasi wala silang time for that. Number two, kasi yung internet connectivity is a problem. Kapag kayo ay nag-online session like this, maybe some of you may nagtatanong bakit daw nag-freeze yung screen, no? And ang reason for that is kasi nga may problema sa bandwidth, may problema sa connectivity. So pag mas mahaba yung video mo, mas malaki yung content mo, mas mahihirapan sila i-access yun. So laging 10 to 20 minutes lang. Bine-breakdown ko lang siya by part. Now, once you have this and this, okay ka na, ang next question would be, ano yung potential niya for future content? So, past, meron kang present, meron kang past, meron kang future. So, for example, sa algebra, it opens the way for calculus. So, yun yung next question, how can I build on this lesson? Ano ba yung pwede kong idagdag dito? Kasi this naman is for the students na adept na, magaling na sila eh. So, to keep their attention, you have to give them a little bit something din. Maybe higher than yung kasanayan na nila. So yun yung pinaka-thought process when it comes to creating content. Now, how does this apply to an actual na series that I make? For example, ang goal ko is to teach them work-word problems. So, technique. And when I started teaching, yun yung goal ko. Kasi ang thinking ko was, at the time I was in law school, sa UP, I was also teaching sa college. So medyo busy yung time na yun for me. Ang paggawa ng video sa akin, parang ano lang siya, if I have extra time, I make them pag may mga nagre-request, ganun. And when I started making videos, nakafocus ako dun sa word problems. Kasi sabi ko, inassume ko falsely na alam na nila yung fractions, na alam na nila yung equalities, wala nang problema doon sa integers and everything like that. So when I started making videos like this, I started with that. And then, nag-evolve siya kasi sa comments, napapansin ko na may mga tao pala na nahihirapan sila sa work-word problems dahil wala pa sila ng fundamentals. So, for example, if this is your learning objective, this is your goal, ito yung gusto nyong ituro sa kanila, you have to ask yourself, ano pa yung feeders dito sa lesson na ito? So, if you're familiar with your work-word problems, you would know na sa algebra yan pumapasok. And when it comes to algebra, of course, kailangan mong alam yung solving ng equalities. Ano yung rule when it comes to transposition, paano mo i-cancel out yung fraction, paano mo i-transpose yung mga bagay-bagay, i-shift mo siya sa negative, sa positive, and stuff like that. And what happened was, since I wanted to teach this, I found out that I had to teach this. Kasi kung hindi ko to ituturo, may mga maiiwan. So now you have to go to this lesson. So nag-feed siya ng isa pang na namang video. Now, this isn't enough kasi apparently dahil merong fractions sa equations, okay, then kailangan ko pa ulit discuss yung fraction operation. So I made a series of adding fractions, subtracting fractions, and everything like that. Kasi kailangan siya para dito sa equalities na para sa word problems. And even after I made this, I realized that there are also people who have trouble with even yung finding the LCD. So now I have to make a video on that and transforming fractions. Hiwalay pa yun. Now imagine if I just made a discussion on this and then someone made a comment na hindi ako marunong, paano po yun na-transpose, and then I made this at in-integrate ko yun sa isang lesson, ang haba-habang lecture niyan. Pero, and if you do it like that, na in real time, na kailangan kong mag-adapt sa needs ng bawat isang estudyante, ang tendency would be, yung mga advanced na, hindi na nila kailangan to, ma-force sila to sit through this entire thing. And the people who need this will actually feel a little bit guilty or a little bit discouraged kasi bakit si first honor alam niya na to, hindi niya na to kailangan. So, yun ang beauty ng online learning eh. Na if, I usually just say na parang, oh, if you have trouble with this part, you can click right here to watch the older video. I covered that in this series. And then, malilid sila dun sa ibang mga series. Yun yung idea when it comes to online learning. Para hindi lahat na tao is forced to sit through something that they either already learned way before or that they cannot actually catch up with. So, yun yung thing. And now you can also introduce yung higher naman ito kasi if you know yung pipe word problems natin, 'di ba? Yung may swimming pool na pupunuin. The format for this type of word problem also follows yung work word problems natin, and now you can introduce this para dun sa mga nambobore naman. Okay? So again, all of these in bite-sized pieces na 10 to 20 minutes long. Now, ano na yung content? Okay? Ano yung content nito? Yun yung pinaka-magiging basis natin sa decision making, sa anong klaseng mga lessons yung iti-teach natin. So it's all about breaking down yung grand concepts into smaller parts. Again, di ba, we all know about that, no? Na yung gauge when it comes to knowing something is if you're able to explain that to a 4-year-old. So you have to kind of look at it from that perspective. Kasi a lot is really lost in translation when it comes to posting your content online. Kasi walang face-to-face na interaction. Okay? Now, next would be yung flow. Now, I'll show you kung ano yung flow code that I use. Actually, I've been tweaking this for the past 5 years in response to yung comments din at saka yung kung other metrics. And again, that's one of the benefits ng online learning. Kasi there is a way for us to see kung saan nagfo-fall off or nagtititir yung mga viewers. So, anong part ng lesson ang interesante sa kanila, ano nang hindi. And you can actually change your flow based on that. So this is what I have based on the 5 years of experience, okay? Now, yung flow ko works like this. And again, all of this is within yung 10 to 20 minute video. You have a challenge question. The challenge question is something that I post online. It's either in the lesson na nangyari last week, or it's something I post on my Instagram account, or it's something I post on Facebook. Anywhere else, I have a challenge question, usually. And then after that comes the discussion. Now, itong discussion na to, again, just keep in mind, it has to be as interactive as possible. Kahit na canned lesson siya. How do I do that? I already got a few comments about that. I always say okay daw when I teach now. All right, so ililipat natin itong negative na to sa other side. Okay? So I even ask okay kahit na wala naman akong kausap. Kasi if you notice, and looking back sa ating kabataan, if you watch yung mga Dora the Explorer, yung mga children's shows, di ba they leave time for the audience to kind of participate kahit na hindi naman sila nakikita ni Dora, di ba? So may onting ano dun eh, may wisdom kasi dun na when we leave things like that or when we speak na para tayong may kausap instead of like a robot na nagle-lecture lang, it actually becomes more effective for the students. I also fill it with yung mga either mga guide questions or mga check-up or mga ways to participate para sa kanila. Like they have multiple choice questions sa loob. Kadalasan escalating to. So ang challenge question usually is a little trickier than usual. Yung discussion pataas ang difficulty nito ng questions, and then ilalabas natin challenge question explainer. Ang idea here is, before I even explain kung ano yung tamang solution sa challenge question, I give them extra time to try answering the challenge question themselves. Okay? So for example, I'll give them an extra minute para sagutan ito. And ang goal ko doon is, hopefully, kapag nakuha na nila yung tamang sagot, or at least alam na nila kung saan sila magsisimula, they will have enough confidence going into the quick quiz. Yung quick quiz is something that already integrated within the lesson. So meron silang 3 minutes to answer. May background music yon, naka-time yun sa buong video para lahat sila sabay-sabay nagsasagot. And then at the end of the quick quiz, I will explain kung ano yung tamang sagot. Now again, if they answered this well, nakuha nila, uy, this is something na hindi ko alam noon pero ngayon alam ko na. Confident na sila sa quiz and now mas open sila to participate. And I get surprised sometimes kasi people will even say na, ay, coach, 2 out of 5 lang yung mga nasagutan ko. So very honest naman sila when it comes to that. And then after that, I have a teaser for the next module, parang next lesson dito sa series na ito. Now, why do I do this? There's a little bit of hacking din when it comes to that. Study hacks din. Kasi when it comes to memory, di ba, we have yung mga tendencies natin. And when it's emotional, we remember it better. So we have yung generation effect. If you remember that, and generation effect is that if you are faced with a question na you have no idea about, and then you have to dream up of way to solve it, parang out of the blue, wala ka talagang alam. You have to generate that parang assumption mo lang or hula mo lang, then it makes you more attentive pag diniscuss na yung topic na yun, which is actually the reason why we do pre-testing, di ba? One of the reasons why we do pre-testing. So, yun yung kung bakit may challenge question. Tapos we have also yung hypercorrection effect. Basically, kapag nagkamali sila sa challenge question, okay, hindi, babawi sila sa susunod. So, yun yung idea. Kaya all of this is, bunga na rin ng ilang changes that I've made. I used to only do discussion videos, pero hindi kasi siya enough eh. Kasi if nag-discuss ka lang, and then you leave it to them, ang tendency is passive learners na talaga. Makikinig lang talaga sila. And then tapos na yung lesson, okay, tapos na. Pero if you force them to actually participate and have a quiz, at the very least, may direct application, mas maganda yung retention sa kanila. Now, one other thing I do is, kung kunyari, mababa yung quiz scores nila, kasi malalaman mo, may feedback naman yan sa online tools, what I do is, gumagawa ako ng panibagong quiz video extra or panibagong exercise or downloadable na worksheets. I post them on my online portals and then para makapag-practice sila ng more. So again, yun yung thing eh, mag-adjust ka talaga. Kasi okay, hindi nila masyadong naintindihan to. Alright, more practice pa. Yun yung pinaka-transition. Now, let me just walk you through this. This is a sample of a lesson that I made a few weeks back, no, in capitalization rules. First part siya sa series kasi again, if you think of capitalization rules, if we're teaching this in a classroom setting, ang tendency is, okay, class, ito yung rules, memorize all the rules, and then quiz tayo at the end. Pero ang thing is, if we just list down all the rules, say we have 13 or 23 of them, hindi nila masyado matatandaan. So what I did was, binrake down ko yung capitalization rules into sectors or parts, and then I made this first. Ito yung first rule, pinaka-basic, which is when it comes to sentences and quotes. I posted this. This is actually on Instagram. Someone from the first batch asked kung may app daw ako na para sa akin. Actually, hindi. Sa stories lang to ng Instagram, meron dong option na quiz. So, ang ginagawa ko lang, nilalagay ko lang to sa Instagram story ko. And ang thing with this is, if someone follows me on Instagram and they see this on my story, they can tap on the answer na tingin nilang tama, and then instant feedback yun. Malalaman agad nila kung tama sila o mali. And in a way, dahil mayroon akong metrics, makikita ko rin kung tama sila o mali. So I can tell them na, you know what, I posted this question on my Instagram account a week ago, only 20% of you got it right. So that is the reason why I'm making this video right now. And totoo yun, it's a good way for me to gauge kung anong topics yung kailangan ng i-cover. So parang poll siya pero may correct answer. And then now that you have this challenge question, you go into yung discussion. So now I have this. So sabi ko, ito yung ating first discussion, first word sa sentence or a quotation. We have 4 more videos coming up. So again, para napaprime na sila na okay, hindi na matatapos to. And then you have the lecture itself. So when I give out a rule, again, this is just a sample, I have something like this. This is just a quick check. No? So which of these is correct? And then I give them time. And then I say, okay, this is the correct one. Kasi this is a sentence, you have to capitalize the first letter, T. So again, at least may onting participation sa part nila. Sa next part, ganun din. So again, kailangan nila mamili kung ano yung tama. So now, medyo may interaction pa rin sila, nagkakapag-participate sila. We keep their attention. Okay? And then, we go back to the sentence correction. So if you were to do it differently, kahit na nagsagot kayo noon sa Instagram and I posted this, ano na ang sagot mo ngayon? Okay? Kasi yun ang nagmamatter. Now, hopefully, dahil na-discuss na natin, alam na yung tamang sagot, na ang tamang sagot is yung E sa even has to be capitalized. Now, again, dahil doon, ay, alam ko na to, itong bagay na hindi ko alam noon, confident na ako, and then you go into the quick quiz. So a quiz would look like this. I give them time, so 3 minutes na may music, and then we do the check-up. I explain ko ano yung tamang sagot. Now, there is a teaser planted here, which is this, yung Margaret Mead. Kasi Margaret Mead is a name. Dapat yung M sa Mead, nakakapitalize din siya. I actually put it there as a teaser. So, sasabihin ko sa nakamari. Actually, may isa pa dito na kailangan i-capitalize. If hindi nyo siya napansin, that's okay, kasi it's something na i-cover natin next week. So, yun yung teaser part. I say na itong M dito, dapat capital din siya. And if you want to learn more about that, see you next week, same time. Okay, something like that. So, may teaser ka na, may lead ka into the next question. So, yun yung flow ko when I teach online. So, now that you have that, at least you have kahit papaano yung lead mo doon sa 15 to 20 minutes. Now, a lot of people think na 15 to 20 minutes is too short of a time to cover something. But if you think about it, no, I remember this when I was in elementary, I had classes na 40 minutes long. So, ang isang subject, 40 minutes long. Tapos mag-attendance pa yun. Kung meron kang quiz, i-check nyo pa. So, a lot of the classroom, mga little things, little tasks na medyo tedious sa classroom setting, na-eliminate niya kahit papaano kapag nasa online learning. So, yun yung nagbibigay sa atin ng way to focus on the content itself. Kaya nga, again, content-driven talaga yung thing. So, yun yung parang nakita ko na sweet spot especially in my YouTube channel. That's what I follow. And people already expect that certain flow from my lessons. Now, let's talk about equipment, kasi alam ko a lot of you are worried about this. Now, this is something na I hope you take to heart. The best equipment that you can use are the ones you already have. A lot of people are worried kasi, hindi ako pwedeng gumawa ng online lessons or online modules kasi wala akong gamit, wala akong magandang computer, wala akong iPad, wala akong technology to aid me. But actually, the mere fact that you're here, ibig sabihin kaya ninyong gumawa ng online materials. Bakit? Kasi you already have a phone. And if you're watching this on your phone, may camera yung phone mo. And even if hindi siya dedicated camera, you can already use that. I have friends na nagsimula sila na nag-shoot, nag-edit, nagpo-post sa phone lang nila. So wala silang laptop at all. And then they started with that. Ako, personally, ito yung journey ko. Ang first ko na camera was this. Ito yung Samsung ko na point and shoot. Lumang-luma na yan. I had that and a whiteboard. Okay? Yung whiteboard na lang nilalagay ko ng to-do list. And that was what I used for the first 50 videos that I made. So, isa sa mga videos na yon ito, yung speed math na multiplying by 5. And if you notice, I just have yung aking camera. Actually, nakapatong lang siya sa dalawang pinagpatong na monoblock chair. Wala akong tripod So, nakapatong lang siya doon, tas sa unan, para hindi siya malaglag. And then I was writing on yung aking whiteboard. In fact, nalaglag pa nga yung whiteboard na yan sa ilang mga videos ko. So, hindi kailangan na high-tech. Okay? Pwede rin siya actually sa papel. So, pwede yung ilagay yung inyong camera sa taas, tapos yung papel sa ilalim, tapos nakukunan niya kung paano kayo nagsusulat. Again, pwedeng low-tech na option. Okay? Ang importante is yung content. Kasi content-driven So, for example, itong topic na to, multiplying by 5 na technique. So kahit papaano, meron pa rin, kasi may need for that. People want to learn speed math techniques. So may viewership for that. So using just this, and this I didn't buy to vlog. Nandiyan na lang yan sa bahay namin. Alam niyo yun yung ginagamit sa mga family reunion, ganyan. All of those things, nandiyan, nag-exist na yan. Wala akong ginastos. I made this. Ito yung, before I took the video down, it had 108.2 thousand views. So, 108,000 views is not bad for a video like this na I made in my room. Ang kwarto ko ay 3 meters by 4 meters lang. So, napakaliit na kwarto. I used to fold my bed para lang makapag-shoot ako ng videos. And naghihintay ako ng araw sa aking bintana kasi wala akong lighting. So, ang aking oras lang para mag-film ay, sabihin natin, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Kasi pag maaga, maingay sa bahay, paggabi madilim. So all of these, alam niyo, mag-adjust lang tayo, discartehan lang natin kasi yun ang meron tayo eh. So that was how my first few videos were made. When I had enough money to buy kahit paano equipment, kasi ang aking idea was this: any money that I make off of the YouTube channel, and believe me, it's not really malaki. A lot of people think na, oh, mayaman na yan kasi 500,000 subscribers, but actually it doesn't work like that, no? I wish, but it's not like that. Pero when I started making some money on YouTube, nakapag-ipon ako, I bought a GoPro Hero. Kaya siya maliit kasi, maliit nga yung kwarto ko. So, kailangan ang camera ko yung kakasya. So, I had that. And then I was able to buy yung aking Lenovo na laptop. Diyan ako unang nag-edit sa aking computer. Nakakapag-screen record na ako. Yung screen record basically is, I use yung screen recorder sa laptop, and then yung video file na yun ang ine-edit ko. So I write on top of my PowerPoint presentation like this, using yung aking drawing tablet, kasi I used to have one for yung aking mga design na side gigs. Okay, kasi raketera ako dati, so nagde-design ako shirts, mga posters, gano'n. I have a drawing tablet. I wrote on top of it, and this was actually the first video doon sa Team Laika channel, yung dedicated channel na. So again, wala namang masyadong kailangan. Most of us already have these, no? And nung time na yan, yung technology available sa atin sa phones, hindi pa ganun kaganda. Ang microphone ng telepono hindi pa ganun kaganda. Sobrang raspy pa. Pero ngayon, magaganda na rin yung mga meron kayo eh. So again, you can use that. And with this setup, this video actually got 142,000 views since it debuted nung 5 years ago. Ang idea lang would be this: hindi kasi siya, ang educational content, ang online teaching, hindi siya nagba-viral, no? Hindi ganun yung trend niya. But ang maganda dito is, alam nyo ba yung 20,000 or so of itong 142,000 na yan were just from 28 days ago. So ibig sabihin nun, a video that I made 5 years ago is still something na pinapanood pa rin at nakakatulong pa rin sa ibang tao. Yun yung tinatawag nating evergreen na content. Kasi gumawa ka ng video 5 years ago, pwede mo pa rin siyang gamitin hanggang ngayon. Okay? Now ang current setup ko, I have my MacBook Pro. This was given to me by YouTube, priced din sa YouTube Next Up. And I have a camera, yung Canon M50 ko, with a good enough lens na medyo maliwanag na ako sa videos ngayon. And then I have yung aking tablet. So that is where I write. And itong mga videos ko ngayon already are kind of better na, no, when it comes to that. Kasi I can write on top of it. I can edit it using my laptop. And naging mas maganda na yung workflow ko. For this video in particular, right now, meron siya 1.6 million views. So again, hindi naman siya nagde-depend doon sa kind of tools that you have. Ito ay evolution lang dahil doon sa content. Now, most people, hindi ko na ito nasabi doon sa session 1 kanina, no? Akala nila, ay, 1.6 kasi maganda na yung video, maliwanag na. Actually, hindi. Kasi may evolution din ng content. Kasi yung, you have to also adapt doon sa kind of content na magiging helpful at interesante rin for other people. So, this was actually a video I made as a response sa comment. May nag-request nito. And that is the reason why I made this. No? So, again, all of these things, yun yung potential. I want you to kind of see or have a vision for what could happen if you put up your content online. Now that we're done yung dun sa ating equipment, and again, it doesn't have to be pricey. Ang maganda ngayon, most Android phones, and lalo na mga iPhones, meron silang feature ng screen capture. So yung screen capture na feature, actually, hindi mo na kailangan ng extra na software. Pwede ka na lang na, kung meron kang PDF viewer, lahat naman may files na rin sa phone, pwede ka na mag-speak on top of your PowerPoint presentation. So even like with your phone lang, pwede ka na makatapos ng isang buong lesson. I-upload nyo using your phone lang din. Kompleto ka na. So ganun na kaganda yung technology ngayon. Hindi nyo kailangan ng pricey na setup, hindi nyo kailangan ng lights or anything like that. Okay? Now, yung platform naman, again, there's much to be said about this, pero these are just things to consider. Number one, cost, kasi certain platforms have certain costs. So for example, sa website, if you want your own website, may bayad din yun. There are actually options na for free, options na pwedeng i-arrange through your school. And again, I guess ang Vibal group is a great option for that din. You can get in touch with them sa tools and options that they have available for schools. So you can have that set up for you. But these are just some of the things that you may want to think about. So security is very important din, lalo na if you're talking to minors, kasi sa mga estudyante yan. Dapat secure. Yung email nila, yung password nila, okay ba? Kasi kung hindi, 'di ba? Kung ang data nila ay makukuha, hindi maganda yung option na yon. So reach then, of course, if you want, pwede mo kasing gawin na yung content mo ay nasa mga estudyante mo lamang, or kung gusto mong i-put siya up sa public, pwede din yun. It's a choice for you to make. Kung ready ka na, kung gusto mo, pwede ka mag-practice using yung mga unlisted videos lang. Ibig sabihin ito ay videos or lessons na estudyante mo nang makakakita. And then kapag ikaw ay, pag ikaw medyo mas confident ka na, you can release it sa public. You can also do that. Those are just some of the options. Another consideration would be yung copyright issues. Ako personally, speaking on this na lang ako, I made this conscious choice way back. I make my own materials, I make my own PowerPoint presentations, I make my own questions para wala akong guilt or wala akong problema pagdating sa copyrighted materials. So for example, I don't use questions na galing sa ibang books or ibang reviewers para lang I can rest well. So ako kasi, ang tendency ko ay err on the side of caution. So this is something that you also may want to consider. Kasi if we're talking about long-term na content creation, syempre mas maganda if we adhere to certain limitations. Kasi if we just another danger of that would be if you put up content na hindi sa'yo, di ba, may na-open na doors for risks doon. So yun lang yung sa akin. Another consideration would be feedback. Can your students comment on the content? Paano sila sasagot sa'yo? Pwede bang email? In real time ba? May chat box ba? Like this, like what we have. All of these are things that you have to think about then. Monetization, of course. Kung may possibility ba for you to monetize your content. Syempre, lahat naman tayo kahit papaano, di ba? Gustuhin man natin mag-teach ng for free forever, may mga costs din ang buhay. And that's always been a tricky part for me. I remember when I made the decision to go full-time sa content creation. At the time, very low talaga ang income. But I told my mom, give me 1 year. If I starve, I'll go back to law school. If I don't, then I'll keep doing this. Kasi I have this dream na to democratize education in the Philippines. So far naman, okay pa. So that's been a blessing to me. So pwede ko tong gawin more. But I hope again for more of you to join the cause kasi hindi ko kaya i-cover lahat ng mga topics. I mean, yung dream talaga would be to have a complete library of lessons from different teachers, from different languages within the country, so that every student can find the teacher na mag-work best for them. Now, maintenance then can come into play kasi, you have to know a little bit about technology. Now, a lot of the people who commented kanina this earlier session said na, ay naku, mahirapan po ako dyan kasi matanda na ako or hindi ako marunong sa technology. But again, if you think about it, the best teachers are learners who never stopped. So, you are learners, lifelong learners kayo. You are preaching lifelong learning. So, i-apply lang natin yun. Kasi all of these things you can learn. Everything I know about video editing, everything I know about putting up my website, about making questions, about all the tools that I use right now, I learned online, on my own. So, kayo rin, you can also learn that. Actually, just talking to you guys and everyone else din kanina, I'm considering creating a comprehensive series then for teachers who want to create content. Everything from tools to my workflow and behind the scenes. If you want to have something like that, let me know na lang. I'll consider doing that in the future para kasi nakikita natin yung trend talaga. Hindi natin alam kung kailan matatapos yung crisis. So you will have to create more online content. So I'll plan that out. I'll try to make more detailed pa na step-by-step na process for you, everything from editing and stuff, in a separate session na lang. Okay? So, those are just the considerations when it comes to the platform. But again, all of these things are things that we can work around. Again, papasok ko naman tayo sa diskarte. Limitations, skills to learn, all of these things, pwede nating diskartehan yan. And bakit nga ba natin itong ginagawa? Nabalikan ko tong numbers na to that we talked about kanina. So 2.8 million, 116,667,320. So kanina, yung first batch, when I asked them kung ano yung feeling nila dito sa numbers na ito, they said, 2.8 million siguro views. Actually, more than views, may mas importante na metric when it comes to online teaching. And when we talk about views, I think I currently have about 32 million views in the Team Laika channel. But that doesn't really matter that much. Actually, alam ko lang na 32 million siya ngayon kasi tinignan ko kanina, pero I don't pay attention to the views. Hindi yun ang metric na maganda, even if we ask you to. What matters more is yung hours of watch time. So itong 2.8 million po na ito, mga teachers, ay 2.8 million hours of watch time. Ibig sabihin, the videos I put up on YouTube, meron ng 2.8 million hours na ginugol ang mga tao para panoorin yung mga yun. Now, if you think of 2.8 million, that is 116,667 days. So it's like I've been teaching nonstop for 116,667 days or 320 years. So even if, di ba, if I do everything I could, even if I kill myself trying, I would never be able to do that without teaching online. And ito lang yung dream, something to think about na potential din for you. Na by jumping, by switching, making the switch from offline to online learning, you can actually reach and teach more. Kasi yun nga, like I said this morning, you cannot teach people you can't reach. And yung content natin being on an online platform actually opens the door to more people learning more things. So, 320 years na non-stop teaching, I would never have been able to do that. Pero with online teaching kahit papaano, this is going on. And tumatakbo pa siya. And alam niyo yun, it gives me some kind of reassurance na even after, sabihin natin, wag naman sana, no? Pero even after I die, as long as the platform is there and the content is there, people can keep learning from me even after I'm gone. And isn't that something na parang masarap din isipin or i-try? Kasi imagine, di ba, if your personal favorite teachers na paborito ninyo na natuto kayo from them, di ba kung pwede lang natin silang balikan at i-video lahat at i-put yung lessons nila online. Hindi ba parang ang ganda nun? Kasi even generations after this, matututo pa rin sila from the same mentors that taught us. And you can also do the same. So yun yung idea when it comes to this. Now, leaving you with this, kasi the most important question is not the how, what, or why, it's the now what. Anong gagawin na natin ngayon? Okay, so call to action, you can improve in anything you haven't even tried. So we will not be remembered for the things we can or can't do. What matters more is what we actually do. So kayo naman mga teachers, what will you actually do sa current situation na to? It's all up to you. I will try my very best to help you, maybe hold your hand throughout this entire process. If you have any questions or anything you want me to help you with, let me know. I will try my best to be an open resource for you. But again, a lot of these things you can also learn by yourself. All of this are available din sa inyo. So I'm grateful that Viva Group initiated something like this to help equip you. But now, ano na yung gagawin natin? Okay, so when are you going to start? I hope ang sagot dyan is right after this. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, ito yung aking mga social media accounts. You can reach out to me directly through that. And if you have any questions then, if i-leave natin yung ibang time right now for your questions. Babalikan ko rin yung inyong ibang mga questions. Let me just look through this. Tutungo lang ako kasi yung phone, nasa phone. Yan. Okay, so we have a few. We had the same question kanina. I'll answer it again. What editor app would you suggest? Which is best for those who don't have the expertise in editing videos, especially beginners. Thank you, ma'am. Again, same with equipment. The best software that you can use is what you already have. I have friends who have iMovie sa kanilang Apple phone or device. You can use that. Don't go dun sa wag masyadong advanced. Ito yung hierarchy, okay? If you want the most basic sa laptop or sa phone, iMovie is a good start. I use Final Cut Pro kasi it's like iMovie pero medyo mas advanced na ng konti. I have more control. Pero I've been editing videos kasi since I was in high school. So medyo may onti na akong experience. Huwag kayong tatawid sa Adobe. Sa Adobe if beginner pa lang kayo. Ang suggestion ko would be either yung mga free na mga editors sa video or kung hirap kayo mag-edit, mag-retake na lang kayo. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? I used to do this din. So kung kunyari, kung kaya ko i-one-shot yung video, i-one-shot ko siya para hindi ko na-edit. Ang puputulin ko lang yung simula at saka yung dulo. So limited yung skills na kailangan doon. Yeah, pero use what you already have in your phone. Hindi ko alam masyado yung tsaka hindi ko mapapangalanan yung iba kasi pero what I use sa akin right now is yung Final Cut Pro 10. Cha Agati, any inputs if the students are with needs? I'm assuming that this is kind of like the same question we had earlier today, which is what if the students or students with special needs? Again, you have to make room for that. Ang beauty lang ng online content is that may replayability siya. Ibig sabihin, since most of students or learners with special needs already need repetition, katuwang mo yung video kasi pwede mong ulit-ulitin na hindi ka napapagod. And it's also an extra parang teaching assistant or teacher's aid. Kasi habang piniplay yung video, pwede mong tulungan physically yung inyong learner or pwede kang mag-observe directly dun sa learner mo. Okay? When we're talking about students with special needs. And babalikan natin yung thing na I wasn't able to mention this earlier today, no? Which is this. The key with online learning is, number one, hopefully, self-motivated yung students. Kung hindi tayo aabot doon, babalik tayo doon sa design na you have to partner with the parents. Kasi lalo na sa panahon ngayon ng online learning, hindi natin makikita firsthand or mababantayan yung ginagawa ng mga students natin. Pero if you are working closely with the parents, if you sold the dream to the parents and katuwang mo sila dito, malaking tulong din sila. So, yun eh. Parang you have to make this a community thing. Okay? Di ba sabi nga, it takes a village to raise a child. Parang ganun eh. All of us have to work together dito sa thing na to. So again, another good thing when it comes to videos is you can make it as colorful as you want then if you want to stimulate those who need that kind of attention. So if we're talking about students with special needs, pwede rin lagyan ng captions for those who are, for the students who are deaf. And you can also make certain adjustments like sa font size kung visually naman may difficulty siya, pwede mong lakihan. All of these, again, pwede mong i-personalize depende dun sa student mo. Ang challenge lang would be yung physical activities kasi nga online eh, so hindi mo makikita. Okay? So dun sa case na yon, aside from yung makikita mo yung webcam ng iyong estudyante, you have to involve whoever is with the student physically para meron kang katuwang. Asteria Aberia, how about for preschool level? Pwede din po ba ito? Honestly, the answer, yes, very much. I have, and this is a real story, I have a pamangkin, si Miel. Nagulat kami kasi 2-3 years old siya. Alam niya na yung shapes, alam niya na yung lahat ng colors and everything. All of these things, she learned sa YouTube. Again, hindi naman sobrang ideal yung situation na ibibigay mo lang, wag mong ibibigay yung device mo lang sa iyong anak, no? Pero ang thing kasi is, di ba, kids also learn through repetition at saka kasi may animation. So, kunyari, may mga songs, di ba? Kumukuha na rin naman ang mga preschool teachers ng songs, right? From open source materials. If it's already online, again, may replayability din. So, pwede rin siya sa preschool students. Kaya lang medyo mas onting effort lang on your part kasi you may need to learn a little bit of animation. Again, maybe I can put something up on this na rin kasi you can actually cheat your way through animation. Kahit PowerPoint lang, promise. Pwede nyo siyang gamitin na tool. I can walk you through that, no? Maybe sometime in the future kasi medyo mas technical na siya. Pero yes, you can use it for preschoolers. Here's the thing. Always pair it up with worksheets. Yun lang yung thing. Pwede kasi yun. Like ako, hindi naman lahat, I actually have an online review program. Aside from yung mga free content that I put up on YouTube or on my website, I have a dedicated online review program pa. And yung program na yon, meron ding paired na mga quizzes and worksheets. So actually, kung preschool lalo, pwedeng may canned lesson ka, kahit 3 to 5 minutes lang, a song or a list of colors. Again, you can go to Dora the Explorer or yung mga ibang ganong klaseng mga shows for inspiration. And then, meron kang downloadable na worksheets. Yung downloadable na worksheets, pwedeng i-print out ng mga parents. Kung walang kakayanan, pwedeng sa school, tapos kukunin na lang nila. Kasi remember, marami ng mga institutions who have been doing this for years and it's the same setup, basically. Worksheets. Worksheets are your friend. Okay, so hopefully that helps. How do I know that the student really understands what I am discussing, sabi ni teacher Corazon Esteban. Some students, if not called to ask questions, they won't participate in the discussion. Yes. And again, this is a problem na hindi bago sa atin. Kahit sa live learning, marami pa rin estudyante na ganyan. Ito yung option eh. You can either hold a live streaming session like this, like what we're doing. Na in real time, makikita ninyo kung nagpa-participate yung students. Now, one smart thing that Vibal Group did was, di ba, they had you put up your comment. Dapat mag-comment kayo, dapat mag-share kayo, dapat you use the hashtag. So that's a great way for them to gauge kung kayo ay involved talaga sa learning. Nakikita ko yung inyong chat box. So nakikita ko, ay okay, active din sila sa discussion. Kaya lang, ang thing lang talaga dyan would be, it takes extra work for you as the teacher kasi now you have to scour through their work and see kung nagpa-participate talaga sila in real time. Or, what you could do would be to provide quizzes na embedded in the lesson. One trick that I do, which I hope can help you, is this. I have bonus, sometimes I have bonus content na password protected sa website ko. So for example, if you want extra, for example, a study guide. Gumawa ko ng comprehensive study guide for civil service exam. It's an 8-week program, nakalink na lahat ng mga videos na kailangan nyo i-click, whatever that is. It's downloadable for free on the website, but may password yon. And the password would be inside the video. So I won't say kung nasa sa video, kung nasa dulo ba siya ng video, nasa 10-minute mark, nasa 5-minute mark. It will be talked about, mentioned within the video. So, kunyari, kung meron kang estudyante na mga students are inattentive, what you could do would be yung quiz nila would be in a different platform, tapos may password doon. So now they have to watch out doon sa entire presentation mo kung kailan mo i-mention yung password. Kasi hindi nila ma-access yung quiz nila eh. Doon yung grade nila doon sa quiz. So that could be a way for you to kahit papaano force them to pay attention. So yun, I hope that helps. What else? Ed Alcantara, Ma'am, do you have training programs for content creation using technology for online learning, particularly for math subjects? I actually have a few videos on content creation. Pero now that I am in touch with you guys, parang nakikita ko nga parang may need nga for that. If anything, please watch out na lang. I'll see if I can make more. I'm not sure. Kasi kung nakikita ko nga may malaking need for this. I'll try my best to make more content na related dito. Lalo na yung particulars ng walkthrough ng kung paano talaga gawa ng content. Yeah, Alma, a blog. What are your tips for teachers who are handling students in the lower grades? How are they going to shift to online teaching? Okay, number one, ang problem is the device. No? Sana may device sa bawat bahay. Pero hindi nga yun ay ideal setting. No? Pero kung assuming na may device ang bawat isa, again, ang number one na kaakibat or partner nyo in this would be the parent. Hopefully, the parent cooperates. Kasi kung yung parent ay nakikinig or nagpa-participate, at least meron kang mata doon sa classroom, may tumutulong sa inyo, and kung merong mga needs, pwede niyang i-relay sa inyo. So that's the number one thing. Number two, when it comes to elementary students, honestly, worksheets. There's even a more low-tech way of doing it, which is, if you notice yung mga writing exercises when you were younger, do you remember it? I don't know if you remember it pa eh. Pero if you remember yung mga writing exercises ng bata tayo, yung di ba pag nag-aaral ka mag-cursive, yung first line, ang ginagawa nila, parang dotted, kunyari yung A, dotted siya, tapos hanggang mag-fade yung dots, and then ulit-ulitin mo siya. Think of it that way when you dream up of worksheets na low-tech version. So again, kung wala kang video, that could be an option for you. Kasi at least naka-step by step yung gagawin ng mga bata. You just have to be more creative. Again, ano to eh, dahil kulang sa kakayanan, hahabulin mo talaga sa effort. Effort. And a lot of people like to look at the numbers. Okay, parang sometimes people even assume na si coach meron na yung 500,000 subscribers, so she's earning a lot, which is actually not true, no. Pero it's never about the money, I think, for us. I mean, meron bang nag-teacher kasi gusto yumaman? Parang wala namang ganun. Pero at the end of the day, the question would be, would it be worth it? And the question will always be yes. So if, for example, and I'll leave you with this, we will have to end this, no? Medyo na-extend na ako, sorry. One thing that motivates me, and this is how I used to think kahit noon pa nung I started making videos. Kasi remember, the first video lesson I made was for one friend. So when I was starting to make content na for everyone, na mas conscious na ako na may mga viewers na hindi ko kakilala na manonood, I always thought of this. Sabi ko, Lord, if this video helps one person, it will all be worth it. So kung it takes me 2 hours to make one video, pero yung one video na yun may natulungan na isang tao, sulit na yung 2 hours na yun. So if you look at it that way, it kind of changes yung perspective mo on effort eh. Hindi naman one video lang natutulungan. Mas marami pa doon. So right now, I mean, I'm super happy na already. More than fulfilled. Kasi yun naman yung goal ko eh, to help one person. And di ba, if we talk about personalized learning, ganun din naman siya. So think of it that way. Teachers, don't be pressured na it's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watching my video. No, you can create for one particular student and then build on that. Okay? And if that one student is helped, kung meron siyang natutunan, then all of it will be worth it. Okay? So I guess that's it muna for now. I have to end this. Thank you again sa Vibal Group for making this happen. It's an honor for me to be here. It's always been my dream. I wrote it years ago to teach teachers. I don't know why. I don't know why I wrote that, how it'll happen, but you know, God makes a way. And this is that. So thank you, Vibal Group, for making that happen. I'm able to teach teachers, and that's always been part of my dream, and this is a dream come true. So thank you so much for joining us today. This afternoon, I'll look into the other questions that you have, possibly make content na lang din on this to append itong session na to. And thank you so much for participating, and I hope to see you online, maybe in my other accounts or anywhere else. Okay, thanks guys. As we always say, never stop learning.